Giving baby up for adoption: pros and cons. One of the scientific world's main laws is that there is an equal and opposite reaction for every action. Therefore, when you begin to evaluate life decisions in this way, you will find that there are unique positive and negative impacts after committing to a specific direction. When the decision you must make is to place a baby for adoption or raise in your own family, the stakes are high. Do you have the ability to provide the best life possible for this baby, or would adoptive parents provide a home with more opportunities for them? In most cases, it is the biological mother who ultimately decides whether adoption is the best option to pursue. It may seem unfair to loved ones if there is a disagreement, but adoption is also a long-term deal that can positively change everyone's life. Some biological and adoptive families even keep in touch so that the baby can learn the story of her life authentically. If she finds herself in this situation, here are some of the thoughts she will want to reconsider when thinking about the pros and cons of adopting a baby. List of benefits of putting a baby up for adoption. One. Opening agreements can help you stay in touch with the adoptive family. One of the best benefits of adoption is an open deal. It could be called a post-adoption contract or another name, but the process is the same. This document allows the biological mother and the child's adoptive parents to understand what the expectations will be for communication in relationships. This takes all the guesswork out of how relationships will form in the future. These agreements give adopted children the consistency that a long-term relationship provides. In addition, parents and adopters can stay in touch with mediation help from the agency that started the process in the first place. Everyone benefits. 2. Offers the option of staying in a child's life without being a parent. Some biological parents are not physically, emotionally, or financially responsible for caring for a child. Instead of asking for an abortion to counteract these problems, putting a baby up for adoption creates a situation where there may be a little break. A birth mother can still play a role in her child's life without having to worry about full-time parental responsibility. In addition, signing a legal waiver form in an open adoption could mean that the child's biological family has chosen the adoptive parents. It's not always an easy decision to make, but putting a baby up for adoption gives that child the best chance at life. In addition, this allows another family to have a child when they may not have been able to do it themselves. 3. Healing is always possible after abandoning a baby after adoption. Many birth mothers know when adoption will be the best option for their child. Giving up parental rights can be a painful experience. The good news is that no one should be trapped in their feelings of pain forever. A healing path can be found that uses resources, community support, and communication to begin the restoration process. Many adoption agencies have mentoring programs and other services that can also improve the birth family's life. 4. Everyone has the right to adopt or follow a different path to follow. Since adoption is a legal agreement, anyone involved in the baby's life has the right to change their mind about this process. A moment of decision does not require a continuation if there is a hesitation in this idea. Everyone has the opportunity to change their mind even after several months of waiting and planning. While the procedure is not yet finalized, there is a way to stop transferring the rights from the biological parents to the adoptive parents. 5. It gives the baby and all parents a fresh start. The opportunity to start over is one of the most important benefits of the adoption process. It is a way to make the dreams of the adoptive parents come true, as they can start their own family after the transfer of rights. There are new goals that can be set, a sense of hope for the future, and the possibility of leading a better life. Putting a baby up for adoption allows everyone involved in the arrangement to embrace the idea of starting over with a clean slate. 6. Both families enjoy greater peace of mind during the adoption process. Many birth mothers feel frantic because they are not sure they can provide what their babies need. Adoptive parents fear they will never have the opportunity to start a family of their own. Yet, when the two families come together, a feeling of intense peace can wash over you. Some people who have had this experience call it an awesome experience. As a biological mother, she will know that she is choosing a family that will keep her son or daughter safe for the rest of her life. Adoptive parents become the people the baby can count on for all of her needs. Don't underestimate this benefit if she doesn't know what to do. 7. Gives birth parents another chance at life. An unplanned pregnancy creates an interrupted life. While some critics of the adoption process may say that a person's choices create this circumstance, this is not always the case. Teenagers and women in their 20s must set aside educational opportunities, career prospects, and social media to manage pregnancy in today's society. Then all the hormones change, and the physical changes occur as the baby develops in the womb. Choosing to place a baby for adoption gives an unprepared parent another chance at life, creating opportunities for more mature decisions in the future. Often, the idea of adoption provides a wake-up call for those who are not walking a healthy path in life. This option allows another family to pursue their goals and dreams while the birth mother looks for ways to return to where she belongs. (8) Adoptive parents can exchange letters and photos. When you can create an open relationship between the birth and birth parents, you allow the birth mother to watch her child grow up. Even with the potential challenges in this relationship, watching her baby thrive in a new environment allows most mothers to find some peace with her decision. Exchanging letters and photos can also be a helpful part of the healing process. It will also exchange other forms of information. For example, if your baby is experiencing an emergency, you will be one of the first to know about the situation if there is an open relationship. In addition, it can provide vital medical information that could help the child recover from the situation. There will also be no difficulty opening adoption records, which can be problematic in some U.S. states. (9) Birth mothers can let an adoption agency do the verification work. Some birth mothers like to get their hands on the selection process to see the benefits of personally placing their babies for adoption. You also have the option of hiring an adoption agency to do this work on your behalf. This increases the risk that the process will result in a closed adoption rather than an open adoption, but there may be birth families who cannot find a great future for their child. Several professional agencies in the United States and around the world can help facilitate the search and placement process so that your child can get the best start in their new life. If you choose to have a closed adoption, it is essential to remember that children can begin requesting their adoption record from 18. Become an adult. There is a half-open option that could be a possibility, if a birth mother wants to share a small amount of information about herself and stay in a child's life. Some states allow semi-open adoption. This advantage allows her to entrust a professional agency the mediation of letters and photographs that she can agree to exchange with the adoptive family. She can use this option to provide third-party means for communication and other needs as well. If you choose this option as a birth mother, she can still have some privacy without feeling like she is completely closing the door on her child. List of disadvantages of giving a baby up for adoption. 1. Some states of the United States do not enforce opening agreements. The validity of an opening agreement depends on where the biological mother lives and/or signs the documentation that governs the relationship with the adoptive family. Some biological parents may not be entitled to perform the contract under the state's laws in which it was made enforceable. There is a lot of variation in U.S. law in this area to the point where some adoptive families may cut off all contact, and no one could do anything about it. 2. Legal abandonment means that a biological mother no longer has parental authority. If a biological mother decides that her child is not being cared for properly or in the way she wishes, nothing can legally change the situation. Adoptive families have all the rights to make the decisions they deem correct about the baby. The only exception to this inconvenience will be to contact Health and Social Services or the Division of Children and Families if there is a possibility of abuse. If false accusations are made and a recurring problem, then the adoptive family may have other legal options that could create even more separation. 3. Some families find it difficult to cope with the pain of losing a child to their adoptive parents. The path to recovery is different for each biological family. Some birth mothers view the act of placing a baby for adoption as a traumatic experience. It can take a lifetime of soul-searching to return to a place with happiness to relive. Birth parents often need help taking the first steps toward motivation. Some self-directed moments need to be taken, and not all parents may do so, as their child is from a different family. Grief is a natural emotion that is felt when abandoning a baby for adoption. She is experiencing a loss directly related to the child. In addition, she could lose other people in her life who choose to support her as well. Feeling empty and lost can be an overwhelming experience. 4. The adoptive parents have the right to change their mind before signing the documents. Although this inconvenience is rare in the United States, adoptive families have the option of changing their minds before signing the documents that give them parental authority over the child. The biological parents also have the same right. When this problem arises, the trauma of finding another family or another child can devastate the entire family. It is almost impossible to get out of this situation without being heartbroken. 5. It gives birth parents a way to avoid responsibility for their actions. There are times when putting a baby up for adoption makes sense. No child should have to live in an abusive home. It is also a notable disadvantage to give a child's biological parents a fresh start, as there is no way to hold them accountable for their actions with this process. There may be a special beauty to this idea with many sacrifices involved that make it a beautiful process in many situations. Still, the adoptive family is often